Have you ever asked yourself, why do some people have less but feel so much happier than you? Think about it. Maybe they don't have a big house, or more money, or the perfect job, but somehow they smile more, they worry less, they enjoy life in ways that seem simple, but powerful. And maybe you've felt this too, that strange feeling like something is missing, even when everything looks fine from the outside. It's not always because something is wrong. Sometimes it's because you've stopped seeing what's already right. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending life is perfect. It means training your mind to notice what's already good. And that changes how you experience everything. In this episode, we're going to slow down and really listen. This isn't just about being thankful. It's about feeling it, living it, and using it to grow. In English and in life. So if you're ready to build your English skills and your emotional strength at the same time, stay with me. And before we dive in, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you usually forget to appreciate? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Why does gratitude even matter? Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a way of seeing. When you practice gratitude, you train your brain to focus on what's going right instead of what's going wrong. That doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means you don't let them control your mind. Research shows that people who regularly feel thankful are happier, healthier, and even sleep better. But here's the part that most people miss. Gratitude makes your language better too. You become more present, more thoughtful, and more expressive. When you feel thankful, you speak more clearly and calmly. You choose better words. You listen more carefully. You start to see not just the meaning of words, but the feeling behind them. And this makes you a better communicator, not only in English, but in life. Gratitude trains your attention. It makes you notice people, moments, and little things. And when you notice more, you learn more. That's why this small habit can have such a big impact on your progress. Can gratitude really help you learn English faster? Yes, in a surprising way. When you're thankful, your brain feels safe. You're calmer. You're not constantly comparing or judging yourself. That creates the perfect state for learning. When you're tense, you freeze. But when you're thankful, you open. You notice new words more easily. You remember phrases with more emotion. You enjoy the journey instead of just waiting for results. Gratitude also builds patience, and language learning takes time. It's easy to feel frustrated when you make mistakes, but gratitude reminds you how far you've come. It shifts your focus from "I'm not perfect" to "I'm improving." That mindset makes it easier to stay consistent. It keeps you going on days when it feels hard. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about creating a mental space where real learning can grow. Why do we forget to feel thankful? One reason is habit. Our minds are trained to look for problems. It's part of survival. That's why it's easier to complain than to notice what's good. Another reason is comparison. Social media shows us perfect pictures of other people's lives, and suddenly, our own life feels small. But the truth is, you never see the full story. Everyone struggles. Everyone feels behind sometimes. Gratitude pulls your focus back to what is working, right here, right now. We forget to feel thankful because we're always chasing more success, more likes, more improvement, and in that chase, we often miss what's already enough. Gratitude helps us slow down. It reminds us that joy doesn't come from always getting something new. It comes from seeing old things with new eyes. When we learn to see ordinary things as special, we start to feel more peace, even in an ordinary day. Is being thankful the same as being passive? No, and this is really important. Gratitude doesn't mean you stop dreaming or working. It just means you stop suffering in the meantime. You can be thankful and still want more. You can love what you have and still grow. In fact, real growth starts with a thankful heart. Because you're building on a solid foundation, not on fear or frustration. So don't confuse gratitude with giving up. It's actually a powerful form of strength. Some people think that if you're thankful, you won't try to improve. But the opposite is true. When you feel good about what you have more energy to grow. You work from a place of peace, not pressure. And that kind of energy lasts longer. Gratitude is active, not passive. It's a daily choice to look for value, even when things aren't perfect. And that choice makes you stronger, more stable, and more focused. What are you thankful for that you usually forget? Sometimes the best things are invisible. A healthy breath, a friend who listens, a roof over your head, a second chance. We often forget these things until they're gone. Today, I invite you to slow down and really notice them. What's one thing in your life that seems small, but would feel huge if it disappeared? That's your practice for today. Pause and appreciate it. You're already more blessed than you know. Many of us wait for big events to feel thankful. We think we need something huge to happen. But real gratitude starts with small things. Clean water, a safe place to sleep, the ability to hear, speak, and learn. These are not small. They are everything. So think right now. What do you usually ignore that actually gives your life meaning? When you notice it, say it out loud. Give it words. That's how gratitude grows. How can you build a habit of gratitude? It starts with language. Try saying or writing down 3 things you're thankful for every morning. They can be big or small. Then describe why. This is great English practice and emotional practice. For example, I'm thankful for my morning coffee because it helps me feel calm and focused. Notice how that builds both vocabulary and mindset. Gratitude grows through repetition. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And don't worry if your list feels simple. That's actually the point. The goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to train your brain to see goodness in everyday life. When you build this habit, you create a rhythm. Over time, your thoughts become lighter. Your heart feels more full, and your English becomes more expressive because you're practicing real emotional language every day. What happens when life is really hard? This is the most difficult, but most important moment to be thankful. When everything feels like it's falling apart, gratitude feels impossible. But even in the darkest times, there's usually a tiny light. Maybe it's the lesson you're learning. Maybe it's the person who stood by you. Maybe it's the strength inside you that you didn't know you had. Gratitude during pain doesn't make the pain go away, but it gives it meaning, and meaning gives you power. Hard times test us. They challenge our spirit and shake our plans. But if you can pause, even for a moment, and notice something good, you take back a little control. You remind yourself, yes, this is hard, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still learning. Gratitude during struggle is not about ignoring pain. It's about choosing to hold both, the pain and the light, at the same time. That's how resilience begins. Can you feel grateful and sad at the same time? Absolutely. Gratitude is not about pretending to be happy. It's about being real. You can cry and still say thank you. You can miss someone and still feel blessed to have known them. Life is full of mixed emotions. Gratitude allows you to hold more than one feeling at a time, and that makes your emotional life richer and more stable. Think about it this way. Sadness shows you care. Gratitude shows you remember. They can live together. You don't have to choose. In fact, the most powerful gratitude often comes in sad moments. When you feel the weight of what something meant to you, being grateful doesn't mean you stop feeling pain. It means you let the pain have a place without letting it take over everything else. That's a sign of emotional maturity. How does gratitude affect your relationships? When you express thanks clearly and often, people feel seen. They feel valued. Gratitude is like emotional glue. It builds connection. In English, you can use simple expressions like, "I really appreciate you," or "It means a lot to me." Practicing this kind of language not only improves your speaking, it deepens your relationships. Gratitude creates warmth, and warmth creates trust. When you say thank you in a real, honest way, people remember. It changes how they feel about you. It softens conflict. It builds bridges. And in your English journey, this is incredibly useful. The ability to show appreciation, not just with words, but with tone and feeling, makes your English more human, more respectful, more real. So don't underestimate the power of a small thank you. It might be exactly what someone needs to hear. What if I don't feel thankful right now? That's okay. Gratitude isn't something you force. It's something you return to. Even if today feels empty, try to notice one small, good thing. A warm drink, a peaceful moment, a smile from a stranger. Gratitude begins with attention. The more you look, the more you see. You don't have to feel it perfectly. You just have to practice noticing. Some days are hard. Some days your mind is full of stress, fear, or just noise. And on those days, gratitude can feel far away. But here's the secret. You don't need to feel thankful in your heart right away. You just need to start with your eyes. What is one thing right now that you can see, hear, touch, or remember that brings you even a little peace? That's enough. Start there. Gratitude will grow with practice. How do you express gratitude in daily English? You don't need fancy words. Natural expressions work best. Try, "Thanks for your help. I appreciate it," or "That was really kind of you." To make it stronger, add a reason. "Thank you for explaining that. It really helped me understand." This makes your English more personal and more real. Practicing gratitude in language helps you sound more natural and also more kind. The key is sincerity. You don't have to speak perfectly. You just have to speak honestly. And over time, you can add variety to your gratitude. Say things like, "I'm really grateful for your time," or "That means a lot to me." These phrases are useful in work, friendships, and even learning environments. The more you use them, the more confident you'll feel expressing emotions in English, not just the words, but the heart behind them. How does gratitude change your thinking? Gratitude helps you focus on what you can control. You can't always fix every problem, but you can choose where your focus goes. And when you focus on what's working, your brain becomes calmer, more open, and more creative. Gratitude changes your mental habits. It helps you move from reaction to reflection, from stress to strength. This shift is powerful for English learners. When you think with gratitude, you stop punishing yourself for mistakes. Instead, you see mistakes as part of the process. You become more patient with yourself. You start noticing small improvements, and those improvements give you energy to keep going. Gratitude helps you think clearer, speak kinder, and feel stronger. It's a small mindset with a big effect. Why do successful people talk about gratitude? Many top performers, athletes, leaders, creatives, keep a daily gratitude journal. Why? Because success without gratitude feels empty. You can reach every goal and still feel unsatisfied if you never stop to appreciate it. Gratitude adds depth to your wins and comfort to your losses. It's not a soft skill, it's a success skill. Successful people know that pressure is part of the journey. They face criticism, fear, and failure like everyone else. But gratitude helps them stay grounded. It helps them stay connected to the why behind their goals, and it reminds them not to miss the good moments along the way. Gratitude isn't just something you practice when you have time. It's something you make time for, because it keeps your success meaningful. Can gratitude help with anxiety or fear? Yes. When you feel anxious, your brain is racing into the future. Gratitude pulls you back into the present. It says, look, right now, this is okay. This moment is enough. It slows down your thoughts. It calms your breath. And it reminds you, you've made it through hard things before. You can do it again. Fear often lives in the unknown. What if I fail? What if I sound stupid? Gratitude doesn't answer those questions, but it shifts the spotlight. It helps you see what's already strong inside you. It reminds you that progress is already happening, even if you can't see it yet. Gratitude gives your nervous system a break, and from that place of calm, you can move forward with more courage and clarity. Is gratitude spiritual or psychological? It can be both. For some people, gratitude is a spiritual practice, a way of connecting with something bigger. For others, it's simply a mental habit, a way to improve focus and well-being. You don't need to believe in anything special. Just start noticing what's good. And let that noticing guide your day. Whether you call it a prayer, a journal entry, or a daily check-in, the effect is the same. You're telling your brain to slow down, to open, and to appreciate. And that message changes how your whole body feels. Gratitude reduces stress, increases joy, and helps you feel more alive. You don't need a label for it. Just a moment each day to say, this, right here, matters. How can I teach gratitude to others? The best way is to live it. When you speak with kindness, when you say thank you often, when you notice small joys, people feel it. You don't need to lecture. Just model it. Gratitude spreads quietly, like light. And when people feel appreciated by you, they're more likely to reflect it back. In your family, your friendships, or even online. The way you speak matters. When you show appreciation, people relax, they feel safe, and they listen more. So if you want to inspire gratitude in others, don't try to convince them with words. Convince them with your energy. Let your presence be the proof. Let your kindness be the lesson. That's the best teacher there is. How do you know if gratitude is working? You'll feel more stable, less reactive, more aware of small moments. You'll complain less and breathe more. And in your English, you'll speak with more warmth, more precision, and more confidence. It's not magic, it's practice. But you will feel the shift, little by little. You might still face problems. Life won't be perfect. But inside, something changes. You feel less rushed, more at peace. You begin to enjoy learning, even the slow parts. You start finding beauty in the details, and you'll notice that other people feel better around you too. Because gratitude is not just something you say, it's something you carry. And it shows. What if you started today? What if, for the next week, you took 1 minute each morning to name 3 things you're thankful for in English? Just 1 minute. That small habit could change your focus, your feelings, and your fluency. Gratitude is a soft strength. It doesn't shout, but it shapes everything it touches. Start with anything. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my best friend. I'm thankful for my effort to learn. Keep it simple. Keep it real. And let your words guide your mood. You don't have to wait until life feels perfect. Start with where you are and speak from there. Gratitude doesn't need big changes, just small, honest attention. Final thoughts. You already have more than you think. Right now, in this moment, you are breathing. You are learning. You are growing. You have the ability to listen, to think, to improve. That's not small. That's everything. And if you can feel thankful for that, even just for a second, your life and your English will grow in ways you can't imagine. So take a deep breath, smile a little, and don't forget to tell me in the comments. What are you thankful for today? This journey you're on, learning English, improving your mindset, changing your life, it's not easy, but you're doing it. You showed up, you listened, you reflected. That's already a win. So as we end today's episode, remember this. Gratitude isn't the end of growth. It's the beginning. Be proud of yourself and keep going.